place. So the first thing I think about when I think of defense is three things. I teach guys three things. It's number one, and when I look at recruits, when I look at guys that I want to play for me, I say I need them to have instincts. They need to have a natural ability to feel the game and play the game. Number two is athleticism. They have to have the athletic traits, the speed, the quickness, the size, the frame. And number three is an edge. They need to have an edge to them, like a toughness, a grit, something that drives them, that makes them different. I had an old coach when I was growing up, because I grew up in a place called Traverse City, and it's a beach town. And I had a coach, he's like my grandpa, and he would always tell me, Chris, you're competing against guys that are playing for their survival. They're playing for money. They're trying to get out of a situation that they're in. And these guys have a hunger. They have an edge to them that's a little different. And if you want to be good at this game, you have to have an edge to you. So I teach those three things, and I look for those three things in guys that I recruit. As far as a big thing for me is player development, especially at a JUCO, where we get guys that, they need some development. They need to grow as people. They come in and they, whether they made a mistake at their old school or maybe they were under-recruited and they just need some development. So the first thing I do, which I want to maximize individuals. I want to get the most out of the players that I have, whether it's you're at a high school level and you want to get the most out of your players. The first thing I see is identifying what they're good at and what they're not good at. And then I double down on what they're good at. I don't even worry about what they're bad at a lot of the time. I just double down on if I have a 250-pound Mike and I have a 210-pound Mike, those two guys are going to be completely different. The big guy is going to be a run stuffer. He's going to be a weight room guy. He's going to have a big frame and he's going to stuff the A gap. The 210-pound guy, I don't need him to get way bigger because he's naturally a little slighter, but I need him to be fast. I need him to be athletic. I need him to be able to escape blocks using his speed, not his power. So I have guys, I see it as doubling down on your strengths and almost not ignoring your weaknesses, because you have to be competent in all areas. But to me, it's more about doubling down on what you're good at. The second thing, and I had my head coach at Northern Iowa, his name was Mark Farley. He always taught me this. He said, find a way to get the best 11 players on the field. Now, you might have a guy playing out of position. You might have a guy that is playing a position that might not be what's most natural to him. But we want to get the best 11 guys on the field, however that mix goes. So if we have to change the defense a little bit, if we have to change the coverage or the front that we're running, we want to move the defense around the players, not the players around the defense. We want the defense to fit what we have personnel-wise and get the best 11 players on the field. And this last thing, I put this on here, and this is kind of how I think of motivating players and getting the best out of them, is there's this book that a guy named Adam Smith wrote. I don't know if you guys have ever read this book, The Wealth of Nations. He wrote it. It's basically the base of the U.S. economy. And he had this concept in there called the invisible hand, which this quote is kind of the base of it. It is not from the benevolence of the butcher, the brewer, or the baker that we expect our dinner, but from regard to their own self-interest. And I know it's a big word, that benevolence, but it's basically good-heartedness. So it's not out of this good-heartedness that we expect a player to be a great player. He's got his own internal motivation. So it's finding those internal motivations and maximizing the individuals, because when you maximize the individuals, the team's able to perform at a higher level. So I see it as maximizing each individual player, getting their best, doubling down on their strengths, and getting every player to play the best they can play so that the team can play better.